pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
The biggest difference between American English and British, 也可以说 Britain, okay? But British English is that in England they're often taught RP, okay? What they call received pronunciation. And received pronunciation is just a fancy name they have for it. Another way we call it is the Queen's English. Because there are a lot of different Englishes in England. A lot of different pronunciations, right? So the best one, the one they learn in school, the biggest thing, 他们没有 R. They don't pronounce their R's. So for example, instead of saying water, they say wata. Yeah. And 他们的后面的音没有 是 Yeah. And they do this with all of their sounds. So whenever you have a vowel, 母音还有 R, 他们的 R 变成那个还是还是 all. So war, right? For them is wall.
Wall.
Yeah. So it's not a bad pronunciation, but it doesn't match the spelling. 有跟拼法没有那么重的关系，所以有点奇怪。Okay. Another difference is syllable stress, 音节. There are a couple words where they are pronounced differently because of the syllable stress. In England, this is laboratory. This is the strong syllable, laboratory. Okay? It's a lab, you know, where you do experiments. So in England, it's a laboratory. In America, it's a laboratory. But because in America they changed the syllable stress to here, so this syllable we don't hear. I mentioned laboratory, right? So this happens in a few of the words with this ending and in some other places. But pronunciation mostly is about the vowels there, okay? The bigger difference is spelling. So the difference in spelling is that the British still spell it correctly, whereas in America, they can't spell. Okay? Now, in Canada, we kind of have the best of both. In Canada, we use British spelling, so it's the correct spelling, but we use the more logical pronunciation. So Canadian English in a lot of ways is the easiest one to use. So it's a good question. So have you heard a lot of British English? No? In movies or on YouTube or something, do you hear them both sometimes?
Harry Potter?
Ah, right, yeah. Okay. Do you read the books or just watch the movie?
Watch the movie.
You need to read the books too.
So difficult.
You have to start, right? You have to try. 真的看书是很重要的. It's very important. You guys know in Taiwan, there's a student younger than you who has already published a book in English. 有没有听过？是那个高中的学生，是17岁. All right, she's 17 when she published a book. All right, it's not this big. It's a bit smaller. 没有那么大，但是都是英文. She wrote a novel in English. You can buy it in the stores. All right. 2017. How does a Taiwanese student write a book in English?
Because he 有吸收老师上课的知识 or 他喜欢阅读
She reads. She doesn't go to a special school. She didn't study in America. Her parents aren't foreigners. 她是台湾人. She went to Taiwan schools. But as a child, she learned to read. She likes to read. 不是每天in Taiwan, right? She doesn't just play with her phone, she reads. So, you can do the same. All you need to do is spend more time here and less time here. Right? But you don't have to start with a book like this. 可以跟比较简单的开始, right? With children's books. I still read children's books for other languages. 要练习我的法文还是德文什么？是用一年级的还是不同的国小的书？ It's just, it's more fun. If it's fun, then you do it. So yeah, there are other varieties of English, and some of them are very hard to understand, but what's important with pronunciation is that people can understand. 最重要的是可以了解，可以听得懂。And it's the same thing for your pronunciation. As long as people can understand you, then you don't need to worry, okay? So you don't need to sound like me, you don't need to sound like an American or an Englishman. You just need to be understood. So 你觉得呢？最大的问题是在哪里？你们的英文的发音哪里有问题？ What do you guys think?
发音哦，都是台湾老师教的。
And that's a big problem because 都是练习的，没有了解的。
就是老师怎么念我们就怎么念。
但是都是练习的，你们都没有问为什么？
练习。
都是练习的，要记得都要记得，都要练习的要记得，没有了解，因为没有问，对不对？但是中文的发音了不了解？ Do you understand Chinese pronunciation? 了解吗？Let's start with this. Okay. 第几年？17年，come on, A, B, C, let's go. 大声。
A B C D
17年了 there's 4 of you, I can tell when there's only 2 people talking.
E F F U G
英文有语吗？
啊？
英文有没有这个音语？有没有这个音语？英文有语啊？ Do we have any words with 语 in it?
没有。
哦，所以为什么这个字母叫句？